thank you so much. I'm sure we're doing something good or something right, because it's a pleasure to see this room full by 9:30. And thank you so much for patiently waiting for us. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out in spite of your busy schedule around the election to come here today. It's highly encouraging. Thank you, Mr. Nathan, for agreeing to be our keynote speaker, and each and every one of our speakers today and everyone else who are here to participate. You know, the national strike call by trade unions in September confirms the suspicion that they are a geriatric ward run by old people, for old people, and by the old people. Clearly, their leadership has not read the great Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen, who wrote, "One of these days, the younger generation will come knocking at our door, asking us, make no mistake, this generation is going to ask us two vital questions. Either they will ask, what were you thinking? Why didn't you act? Or, how did you find the courage to resolve a crisis that so many people said was impossible to solve? India faces a youth emergency and must proceed with a radical review of our labor laws. Trade unions must recognize that a voice does not equal a veto. They represent less than 10% of India's workforce, and that job preservation is not a form of job creation. So let's quickly run through our report card over the last 6 months in terms of how it's been in terms of the regulatory environment. The Ministry of Labour recently proposed a brilliant draft labour code on wages that consolidates 4 labour laws into one. Best part is its attempt to move the decision on minimum wages back to the states. Any day, 29 chief ministers would be more powerful for this country than one prime minister. Slowly, the centre needs to cede space to the state government on labour laws. Out of the 50 central labour laws, 6 are defunct today, and 16 are the only ones which are actively used. The central government must defer action on the radioactive hire and fire clause under the Industrial Dispute Act, Section 5B, and forge ahead with the 3 high-impact employee benefit choices announced in the budget recently and which ISF pushed actively for, and the consolidation of the 44 labour laws under comprehensive 4 labour codes. Big move from the government to amend the Factories Act. Since independent, it has been amended only thrice. And you know what's interesting is that that's against the Shops and Establishment Act, which has been amended 1900 times, out of which 180 times it's been done in Maharashtra alone. So this pretty much indicates the superior responsiveness that state possess. GST remains stuck in politics, and smart cities would take time to kick off. But meanwhile, let's take a step back and try and understand who is it that we represent, what is staffing. And let me just take you through a brief synopsis of that today. Okay. We came into being in 2011, wanting to be the voice of the staffing fraternity. We existed as also we do this kind of an activity. People clubbed us as one of the many things that recruitment companies probably do. We are different, we are unique, we are here with a unique proposition, and we directly help this country create jobs. We wanted to be the thought leader of the staffing industry, and I think by far, if I were to look at our engagement with the Ministry of Labour, Ministry of Skills, we've been able to achieve that to some extent. We bring in, we are trying to establish strong credibility around what we do. our business and our industry is looked upon with a lot of suspicion. There's a lack of trust around what we do. Those of us in the room may not be responsible for it, especially those who are out there who will never probably get them to organize, are the ones responsible for that lack of trust. But it is our job to commit to build credibility by ensuring 100% compliance to each and every labor law as it exists today. We've been actively pushing towards public policy advocacy has been one of our important agendas, and we've been doing that. The salary choices which got announced, we've been actively putting our weight behind it. Also, the work we have done with the Ministry of Labour in terms of helping them kickstart the National Career Services Portal, which is a brilliant initiative by the government. I think we have put our weight behind that because we realize that matching is a very critical part of what we do cumulatively, and it actually leads to a job. We are representing 1.7 million of the organized staffing workforce. At this moment in this room, through our members, we've been able to onboard about we are representative of 5 lakh of those numbers. We envisage that we would be actually growing to about 4 to 5 million by 2025. With labor laws, I think that number could shoot, labor law reform, that number could actually shoot up dramatically. We have, over the last decade, cumulatively provided jobs to over 5 million youth in this country. So our impact horizon has been massive, and somewhere it is our job to let everybody in this country know about what difference we make to the lives of our youth. India needs to carry out the 5 labor law transitions if we have to succeed. Farm to non-farm. 50% of our labor workforce generates 18% of our GDP. So agriculture actually condemns Indian farmers to poverty on account of its low productivity. Rural to urban, out of the 6 lakh villages that exist in this country, there are about 2 lakh villages which have less than 200 people. So job creation clusters, soft and hard infrastructure, they need size. And hence it's absolutely imperative for us to have more cities which can enable reduction of poverty reduction by providing more jobs to us. Subsistence, self-development, self-employment to decent wage employment. 50% of India is self-employed, and I don't think none of us should be proud of it, because this is not a badge to talk about India's entrepreneurial instinct. It's the way it is because of our lack of our low level of employability and our inability to create more jobs. School to work. Our literacy rate as of 2001, can't get hold of a more latest figure on that. Finding data from government at times can be a little crazy. So as of 2001, our literacy rate has been around 65%. And the school dropout rate up to class 10, by the time they reach class 10, is as high as 63%. And that is really disturbing. So what are we here to do given these contexts? Our commitment is we're going to provide employment security, wage security, and social security. Debatable term, right? People usually believe employment secretary as a job which lasts forever. But what we essentially do is that we provide them with opportunities, more than one. Through us, they are actually able to gain or garner work experience, which helps them catapult their career. It helps them, give them a foundation. It acts like a stepping stone. Skill enhancement. I think most of our kids come out with theoretical knowledge with little or no idea about what it is to do work and in a work environment. I think the time they spend with us, directly with our organizations, they pick up a lot of skills during that time. And of course, it's a stepping stone, like I said, for a permanent job, which is still aspirational. We provide them with social security. I think one of the reasons that people view us with credibility today is because we've been able to assure the government that all of us in this room who represent the staffing fraternity make sure that each and every of our kids' social benefits are taken care of. Each and every of their statutory benefits are paid. That is something that we ensure. Over and above that, providing them with insurance facility, mediclaim facility. I think it is a standard that we have achieved in this business, where each and every of our temps do have these benefits over and above the social security which is mandated. Wage security, I think, again, we are committed to ensuring that at any point of time, based on the skill sets, we will ensure that they are paid the wages that they are mandated to be paid. To be honest, we're looking beyond minimum wages. Nowadays, it's so difficult to find youth which meets the customer's expectation. It is pretty much the wage, the demand which, as against the supply, which determines the wage that they get paid, and typically it's far higher. To share with you the average wages which cumulatively we are right now paying is about 14,000, which is far above the minimum wages across the country. Sorry. So, of course, given whatever is happening in the political environment, in the reform environment as well, we are definitely going through an interesting phase of pregnant optimism, if I may use that term, and that itself is offering enough impetus across industries to create jobs. So for us in the Indian Staffing Federation, it could not have probably been a more opportune moment to make a bold statement in the global arena by bidding to host the World Employment Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to share with you that in May 2016, India shall be hosting for the first time the World Employment Conference. It's not only a first for India, it's going to be a first for Asia as well. So we'll take a few minutes of yours, thank you, to share with you a little more and give you a brief glimpse in terms of how we have made a pitch to the global audience in terms of what should bring them to India. Could you please play the video? If you could go back to the slide, there is a play tab there. Okay, just give me a minute.
Yeah, just give us a pitch for next year's World Employment Conference.
Actually, it's an exciting time for us in India. I mean, what's happening in India is not once in a decade, once in a millennium. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, honestly. We are going to be the world's youngest country, which means we are adding 1 million people into our workforce every month, and that's how it's going to be for the next 20 years. The challenge that's ahead of us is that how do we find each and every of these kids a job? Potentially, India can be the talent powerhouse for the entire world. So, May 2016, from 25th to 27th, we're going to be hosting the World Employment Conference. For the first time, an event of this sort is going to happen in India, I guess even in Asia. I think all eyes are right now in India, and we believe that there are enough reasons. We'd like to invite each and every country to come and attend, because I'm pretty sure there will be some significant takeaway from everyone, for everyone, and we collectively will be better off, we will be able to learn. And of course, India is an exciting tourist destination. I think it's a fantastic place to visit. The diversity is immense, the cultural depth is fascinating, so this much one should look forward to. Thank you. So this is going to be our logo for the event. The theme is Karma Yug. I think it is self-explanatory to all of you. Interestingly, the word karma is something that pretty much everyone in the global arena knows about. So they related to it very quickly, so we did not have to spend too much time to make them understand what karma represents for us. So I'd like to invite each and every one of you to join us in New Delhi next May. We will make it memorable. We will make it something worth spending time on. So, could you play the video?
Namaste.
Bonjour.
Shalom. Deve. Guna.
With a new vision of India's leadership
Slated to further our momentum of growth.
and poised to become the world's business hub.
We are a young country and we are getting younger by the day. It is we who are bringing this huge shift.
Thank you so much. I will not come in the way of the rest of the session, so I hope you find the rest of the day fruitful. Thank you so much.